I was on the circuit court bench for 21 years. And out of those 21 years, I served 15 years voluntarily in the juvenile division. And that's where I came into contact with families that were in deep distress. But what would I like people to know about the justice system? It is not the solution to our problem. It's a place where children and families come because they've been abandoned, abused, neglected, or they're delinquent kids. But it's not the answer to the real issues that society and our community has. And the issue that the community has, how can you keep the community healthy? And it's a long-range plan that has to be in place. I always, at times I would describe the justice system, at least in the juvenile, we're the garbage men. We pick up the things that have been abandoned, thrown away, abused, and now we're supposed to do something with them. And many times we did, but many times we couldn't. The children were too damaged. The families were too far gone. The fathers were in prison. Mom was on heroin. And what were the children to do? They had no place to go. So the judicial system is not the answer. I mean, we're there to provide judicial services, but I can tell you we're not a social services agency. When I was a lawyer, I came to the point of saying, well, I can't do anything about how my client was injured, but I can do something to help them. And that's when my life in the juvenile division really turned and became much more emotionally easy for me and more effective for the children that I served. Because then I said to myself, well, it does matter what happened to you, but I can't do anything about that. But now I can help you, and I find interventions, find treatments, find what you need to get back to as normal a life as you possibly can. And it made my life so much easier. And it brought me an understanding of what these children were going through. And from the standpoint of, did that intervention assist the child? If it didn't, why don't we try something else? And I grew up as a human being in the juvenile division. In my 15 years on the juvenile court bench, I saw the results of many positive interventions with children, not only with the children but with their parents, and some to this day I still have contact with some of them, but I always said to myself, why did this child have to be in this situation? Why couldn't it have been averted, so as to not bring that child into the system, not have to spend the money, much more money then than we could have spent when they were a baby or even before they were a baby.